Hello everyone, this is Dino from Prehistoric Facts and Colossal Fossils. Today this is Prehistoric Facts, special episode number 174, and we're going to be talking about a special type of reptile, and that reptile is Placerias. And so here's an artist rendition of what Placerias possibly look like. And so yeah, this is actually a decent art rendition of Placerias. Some info about Placerias. The name Placerias means broad body. Length is at 11.5 meters, 11.5 feet, excuse me, 3.5 meters. Height 3 to 4 feet, or 0.9 to 1.2 meters. Weight is 2,000 pounds. Lived 220 to 216 million years ago in the late Triassic period, and the fossils are found in Arizona in the United States and was described by Lucas in 1904. So here up in the upper left corner here, you actually see here's the map of the United States, and Arizona is this orange state that is actually kind of sandwiched in between a bunch of states, like this green state that is on the far west part of, on the western part of the United States, in the 48 states, is California, the northwestern uh, part right here. This state, this yellow state, this is Nevada. The northern state is Utah. Northeast of Arizona is Colorado, and then on the western side of Arizona you got New Mexico. And so Arizona is this orange state right here. Here's a size comparison of what Placerias is to a human. So kind of a big animal, but not really as large as us. So it is actually a pretty nice sized animal. And here's a skeleton of a Placerias displayed in a museum. And so, yeah, Placerias is actually a pretty cool looking reptile, if I say so myself. More info about Placerias. Placerias belongs to a group of reptiles called Dicynodontia. So it is related to, like, say, Dicynodont, or Dicynodon, or Diectodon, and even Lustosaurus. So those are actually the animals that it would actually be related to, and Dicynodontia, that is a group of mammal-like reptiles, and so they are mammal-like reptiles. So that's what Placerias is, and they are warm-blooded. Uh, so one of the very first reptiles to be warm-blooded. Now, there's some that have lived in the Permian, and there might have been some in the Carboniferous that have started the warm-blooded trend for reptiles. But but some characteristics of Placerias: it has tusks used for digging, so it would dig up like roots and possibly to help for dig for water in the dry season. And those tusks can be used for defense to ward off predators. Now, Placerias might have some hair. There has been a relative of Placerias that has been discovered with some hair filaments in the fossil, and so that is actually pretty cool news right there. Is uh, that possibly that Placerias might have some hair, not all over the body, just some parts of the body. And Placerias is a herbivore, and also Placerias has got that beak too to actually rip off some plants. So the environment in Placerias lived in, it would have been hot and dry, so it would have been a very dry place for an animal, and there'd be wet and dry seasons. So if you've seen the first Walking with Dinosaurs episode, which is New Blood, Placerias was featured in that episode, and you saw that that the environment was like it had a really long dry season and then a very short wet season, that sort of thing. But I don't know if it would have been like that, but there might have been periods where the dry season was pretty long compared to the wet seasons. And the plants around there would be firs, cycads, and trees. There was no grass and no flowers in the Triassic, so the Triassic the Triassic ground was a little bit bare in a ways. And then you actually have rivers, lakes, and ponds, so all those types of waterways that Placerias would have been around in. And some other animals that were around were like insects, amphibians, reptiles, some of the first pterosaurs, some of the first dinosaurs, and of course other mammal-like reptiles. Now the predator that Placerias would be in fear of is Postosuchus. there are other types of predators that Placerias could have been afraid of, but like Coelophysis would not actually be a major threat to Placerias because Coelophysis uh, would not be able to prey on Placerias that much at all. It would actually be able to see Coelophysis would be able to scavenge off of a dead Placerias, but not actually go after uh, a live Placerias. But Postosuchus would actually be that type of predator. That type of archosaur would be eating Placerias uh, quite a bit for a while during the time of the Triassic. The extinction of Placerias was mostly due to climate change. And part of that climate change was that Pangea was starting to split apart. So, due to plate tectonics, and in the map that I'll show you in the slide after this one, we'll actually show some some bits of water in between where uh, Pangea was beginning to break apart. And there would have been more wet seasons that would have happened with the type of climate change that would have happened. So the environment would have gotten a little bit more humid. And of course, new herbivores were taking over. And so some of the first herbivorous dinosaurs were starting to come around and start to take the niche of where Placerias left off. And so that's where like Placerias would actually have a hard time adjusting to new types of herbivores coming in to eat the plants that it loves to eat. And so here's a map of what the Triassic actually looked like. So this is the giant, and this is the supercontinent Pangea. That is the most famous supercontinent of all time. And so you can see so North America is uh, kind of in this middle area right here. So you can kind of see these little itty bits of water that are in between North America, Africa, and South America. That's where Pangea was breaking off. And so the upper half of Pangea is Laurasia, and then the bottom half of Pangea is Gondwanaland. And so that's where you have the separation that would happen. Is where we start to see these tiny little waterways would get much, much larger, and we'll start to see a birth of a type of ocean that is very well known today that splits the western and eastern hemispheres, and that is the Atlantic Ocean. So the next episode will be on August 5th, 2021, and there'll be a Q&A episode. So if you got any questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or just go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, you actually post your questions in the comment section. Please put them in the comment section. Don't put them on Messenger. Messenger is only for private conversations, so make sure you do that. And YouTubers, feel free to like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and also share the channel to anybody that is interested in dinosaurs and other prehistoric life, so that way we can get more subscribers to the channel. And also stomp on that bell, so that way you can get weekly notifications of every video that comes out. And also, please feel free to put your questions in the comment section, because I do read them all. Your questions do mean a lot for all the Q&A episodes that I do, and it's awesome to see what kind of questions you guys give me, and that is really, really nice that you guys care about the channel, and also you care about the content that I produce. And so, yeah, like the video, subscribe, so that way it helps the algorithm, and also put your questions in the comment section. And also make sure you keep your questions short and to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at dino.chris.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on there. You can also follow me on Twitter. I also at CSGRAL. That's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there as well. Also, take care of the people around you. And also, for your younger people out there, that makes sure listening to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you can have a good education. It's very important to have a good education. So with a good education, you get a good job in the future. And this kind of time, if you're not vaccinated, please wear a mask, social distance, and wash your hands. And also, please get vaccinated, because that is very, very important. So that way we can reduce the spread of the virus, and that way we can actually get to back to pre-pandemic normal, and that's what we all want. And also, feel free to check out Colossal Fossils. I'll actually put the link in the description down below, so that way you can check that out. And also, we're going after a T-Rex, so if you want to donate, feel free to hit the donate tab and donate as much as you want. That would be very, very cool to actually get a Tyrannosaurus Rex this time in our museum at some point when we do get a new location at some point. So yeah, feel free to do that, and I'll put the link in the description down below, and I'll put links to the latest research on Placerias in the description down below, so that way you guys can check that out as well. And that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.